that too.
Okay. No.
I'm gonna listen to it. I always have it running in pregame. You never know what you're gonna hear. You might want to have it. Of course, why not?
Some notes.
All right, back at it again, Cigar Spence, and this time it's a different scenario, different scenery. Not quite football, not quite music we got going on here. Not nearly as much ignorance as I'm used to putting out, but nonetheless, I'm here with some colleagues, some teachers here at Longview High School, and we're here to talk about Proposition A for the latest school bond that's coming out. And was it November the 7th is the day? November the 7th is the voting day. Early voting starts on October the 23rd, I believe. And so we're here to just kind of push, why we need Proposition A here at the high school. I got all teachers here that have been here for more than, everybody's been here for a while. I recognize everybody's faces. So we've all been here for a while. We've got a great handle on what happens here at the high school. And we're going to go around the room. So we've got Melanie Mitchell, and then we've got Melanie Davis, and we've got Jordan Thomas, and we've got Brittany Irish, and we've got Jodie King, one of my faves, on the day of, coming through for me. And then we've got Kelsey Parra also as well. We're all here. So everybody can say hello if you want to, and just we can get it started going into it. So if you guys want to speak and let people know who you are, and just go around the room and tell them how long you've been teaching here and why it's, why this school is important to you or whatever. Keep it short, It's cool.
All right. My name's Melanie Mitchell. I've been here. This is my 10th year at Longview ISD. I teach biology. And I love working here.
Amen. No, I'm kidding.
I'm Melanie Davis. I teach Algebra 1. This is my 7th year teaching here, and I love LHS. That's about it.
Jordan Thomas, Language and Literature. This is year 3 for me, so I feel like I'm the newbie. I am. Okay. All right. Good. But it's been a great experience, yeah.
Brittany Irish. I teach high school Spanish here at LHS. This is my 4th year here.
Jodie King. I've been here 24 years. My family grew up here, literally inside the building the kids did. Grew up sleeping in here. And I teach PE over the PE department and a half coach and have done a lot of things. So obviously our family is vested in this school district.
No, for sure.
I'm Kelsey Parra. I've been here for 7 years. I love it here. It was, I always say it was one of the best things that ever happened to me whenever I got this job. And it's just been so great watching, my students grow up here. It's been really, really cool.
Mm-hmm. All right, so there's an intro to everyone. So we're going to hit on a couple of topics. I'm not going to be here too long with you guys. The first one is safety and security, and that's the number one issue that we wanted to talk about, and one of the main things that Proposition A is going to address is safety and security. And so, obviously as teachers and the kids, obviously we want them safe, but we want them to be safe too, right? With all the things that go on in this nation and all the crazy things that can happen in a school building, we want to feel safe as well. So if anybody wants to jump in on the safety and security, talk about something that, whether it be the fencing or the cafeteria, you can just jump in right away and talk about what this proposition will do for us.
One of the biggest things there is that fence that we'll be getting around the high school campus. If you've never been here before, we do have some fencing, but the entire campus is not closed off. So if someone were to be going down Hawkins or down the Loop, you can definitely just walk onto our campus. And that happens sometimes. It would be best if we could get that shut off so that we could have one main entry that everyone would go through. It'd just be a lot easier to keep kids inside and other people outside.
Yeah, it's been interesting to have those conversations about safety and security, because the times we are living in, so many things are happening. And from being here for the 3rd year and having specific meetings about things that could arise and things that our district has done as far as the measures that we've taken to say, hey, if this happens, what do we do? This Proposition A will address a lot of those safety concerns and issues. So the fencing is one, but I do know that we had people from the ESC here that helped to just go around the campus and take a look at some of the things or areas that we could improve on, and then gave those measures to the administrative team. So.
Okay, I know we mentioned the breezeway. In the breezeway area, the cafeteria being one of those things, and the video surveillance and the waiting for the buses. So if anybody wanted to speak on just expanding the cafeteria, I know, Coach King, I know you had something you wanted to say about that.
Well, I've been here 24 years, and our cafeteria cannot even house a fourth of the people that it's supposed to, what is that, service.
Right.
So there's no place for students. They're constantly looking for places to go eat or just, have a place to sit. There's no place for them to even sit with their lunch. They're having to sit out on the sidewalk, on the bench, on a wall, or go to a teacher's room that allows them to come in to eat. So that has never been expanded. It was talked once, and it was not expanded. So definitely faculty can't come in, nothing. It's really sad. Definitely.
All of that ties into the way that we innovate, and so we are a district of innovation. And when I first got here, I really didn't know what that meant. So I just thought, well, maybe that just means that we just teach differently, and that is a big part of it. However, when we consider the district of innovation, it's the overall how we do things. It is how we instruct. Curriculum instruction is really big here, but it also it speaks to the things that we do. So when we talk about all the space that we need or required to house our students, we make it work right now, but just thinking about the things that Proposition A can do, and in regard to adding to our CTE building, adding on to the cafeteria, or I don't know what the plan is. Are we going to build a new one or what? But expansion is the word that I'm hearing around campus, expanding to fit the needs of our current students.
I think that's a perfect segue to go into a second concern on here, which was classroom space. And right now we currently have we've got 5 classes in the little theater. We've got a class that meets in G210 above the turf room, which is not
It's a
turf.
balcony.
It's a carpet room, but a balcony. I know you've been pushed out of the K building because of space.
No place for PE. We have to go outside where there is no fence, and on good weather, we work out inside the locker room.
Yeah, so obviously we need some space and some classroom space. And, anybody want to add anything more to that in that classroom space talk that we were having?
Well, I was going to add in the accessibility. Like, we have handicapped students who, if we already have an overloaded classroom and then we have to make, we want to make the right amount of room for the handicapped students, then, I've just been in classrooms where it's not comfortable. And you want to provide enough space so that the students aren't focused on bumping elbows or being, all up in each other's bubbles, and, just making it comfortable for everybody.
Absolutely. The 5 classes that are in the little theater, any handicapped students that would go in there, they really can't participate in the rest of the class because they're all in this lecture hall seating, and it's not conducive to education. And that's a lot of my department. Like, social studies is running out of classrooms because we just don't have enough room for students because the growth of other departments and other places, like our CTE classes, like, we are trying to expand those so that way everybody has an opportunity, but at the same time that takes away from other classes. So when people are getting pushed out of their classrooms, it just makes things a little bit more difficult for the students. And if they had a space that would fit them and would be way more accommodating, then it would really make their experience here way better than it is now. Mm-hmm. And like we've said, we make it work. Like, we are a district of innovation. We are trying our best to get everybody the education that they deserve. But at the same time, it would be so much easier for us to do that, and our students would benefit so much more if they just had the basic room to have an education and not be piled on top of one another.
Mm-hmm. To piggyback off of that, I know the Kate building, there has been a list of 100 students waiting to get into cosmetology. That just expanded to 2 more classes this year for the first time. We have, students that want to do barber. There's all these other subjects that are offered that we don't have the space to house them. So Kate has definitely outgrown the facilities to even house the students to go, much less. I've been in classrooms where students have had to sit at the teacher's desk because there's not enough desks. They've shared the teacher's desk. They make makeshift desks. Teachers have bought out of their own pocket crates or bought desks to make it as a desk for students to fit. When you make 40 kids in a classroom, I don't know what class. We're in a gym, and that kind of takes up a lot.
We mentioned a couple of things about comfort and mentioning outgrowing certain spaces. I mean, this campus was built in the 70s, and it's now 2023. It's the same campus that I got a chance to go to. My man behind the camera, Ricardo, we walked these exact same halls. And some of these things are the exact same that they were when that was a decade plus ago. And so obviously, and you mentioned earlier, Ms. Davis mentioned earlier about how these students are coming from brand new campuses almost. The elementaries are new. The middle schools were new from the previous bond that was passed, I don't know how many years ago. But they're coming from very new things, and then they get to the big fancy high school with those pretty windows, and then nothing else matches those pretty windows that people see from the outside. You mentioned how, the students feel like they're not necessarily being cared for when they walk into an atmosphere like that. Can you expand on that a little bit more on that?
So basically what I was explaining earlier was that, as adults, when we walk into a fancy restaurant, when we walk into a nice hotel, we carry ourselves differently. And with education, if we're trying to get the best out of our students, then we should provide them with the best. They should be able to walk in here and see and look around and know, oh man, they care about me. They care about my education. They know us as people, as educators and our administrators. We all love them so much. We need this building to reflect that. And go ahead, piggyback.
I think that along those lines, students will have more pride in their school if they have a campus that is welcoming, a campus that, not just the teachers, but like the actual facility would be something that they could feel proud of. They'll treat it a little bit better,
Oh, absolutely. And what we were talking about earlier about the kids perform, like they do well. We work hard with these kids, and I feel like that would just make it even better for them because, like you said, it's a pride thing, right? They are proud. They would be proud of where, they're from, the facilities that they are in, and they'll just get to be pushed even further because of the environment that they're around. We all know that, we grow where we're planted, but where we're planted, looks
It's
a lot
watered.
better.
Yeah.
It's watered, it's taken care of, it reflects the outcomes that we have.
And we mentioned perform, and it's easy to see when you see the other sports. Like sports is the easiest thing to see. Football team has been performing well, and the football team has by year has gotten better equipment, got better uniforms, and it reflects on the football field because of the work that we put in. Like Ricardo, when we came through here in early 2000s, it didn't look like this. The locker room didn't look the way that it looked, but because the school performed and the team performed, things got better around it. We've been performing academically here for a very long time.
Yeah.
I know as long as I've been here, them Christmas bonuses has been pretty good for me. So I know we've been performing in the classroom, and I think it's time that we reflect that and show our students, one, that we care. And I think that we all hit that on there. I was looking at the voting thing. The biggest thing is that the younger people have to get out and vote this next time we go around. 80-something% of the voters that were over the age of 55. That's not acceptable, especially when all of their children are not in high school anymore.
Right.
Like if you have a child in LISD, it is important for you to get out either in the early voting or on November the 7th and get out and vote for your children, especially if they're in elementary, because it might not affect them today, but in 5 years, if you still plan on being here, guess what? They'll be on this campus, and hopefully it's not the exact same campus that me and Ricardo walked around in when we were here, because in a lot of places, it is the exact same.
Speaking of that, you were here, so my kid grew up watching you two crawling through the Lobo Den, and mine graduated through here, but actually walked through and used some of the same exact facilities you two used. The same classroom, same restaurant, same locker room, same cafeteria that you guys couldn't. My kids went through it, and it shouldn't have. It was already not acceptable for them to be here. But on top of that, if we're all teaching, like I teach, make sure you drink water. It makes you smarter. Teaching the health benefits of more water. We don't even have the restroom capacity or the restroom facilities for students to bring a bottle of water to math, English, science class, or history class to learn and even go to the restroom quickly and come back because it's not enough facilities or they're not even up to date for them to use. Or talk about COVID and sickness, washing hands. We don't even have sinks that are conducive for you washing your hands because they were here before you two got here.
Definitely with the restrooms, it makes it a little difficult to send a kid out because you don't know if they're going to come back in 5 minutes or 15 because they had to go to 6 different restrooms because they find one that's working and it ain't all being used up and a whole bunch of people stacked up in there.
Oh yeah, I'll have students that literally go to the bathroom and they come back and they're like, there was too long of a line, so I'll just go again later.
Yeah. So in conclusion, I think we all this thing in this Proposition A is about the student's experience, right? And what type of experience we can provide. And as teachers, we do go above and beyond. Y'all more so than me because I'm a coach, right? But no, you guys go above and beyond in what you do. And I think it's time that the campus reflects how much work that is actually going into this place and not just the same old Longview High School. This is something different. This regime, RIP to Mr. Brewer. We love him. And congratulations to Ms. Allen, who's doing an incredible job as well. She's filling his shoes, but I mean, we've got a lot of love on this campus. And we care about kids on this campus, and it's time that the campus reflects the care that the teachers and the administration put into these students. So we can't tell you all how to vote, and we're not going to tell you what to do or what to say. But if you've watched this pod, I think you know which way you probably need to lean. It's been another one, and since Ricardo's here, in the words of Stephen A. Amen.